Red Bun means we're live. A casual take with your boy Steven Pepper. Here to give a take off my chest. So the Oklahoma City Thunder pretty much just choked a 25-point lead in the loss to basically the Timberwolves bench last night. It was kind of embarrassing. Now I'm not going to come up here and be some of those guys I see on Twitter say, "Oh, you can't be a contender while blowing 25-point leads." No, that's not true. I still think OKC is the best team in the West, but I will say this about them. I still see the same flaw in this Thunder team that I saw them as to be the reason why they lost in the second round to the Mavericks as the 1 seed, and that is offensively, they can still get too SGA reliant to a point where if a team just throws a kitchen sink at them, they have no second gear that they can consistently go to, especially if Chet Holmgren isn't healthy, and he just hasn't been for most of the season. Now, that reliable second option is supposed to be J-Dub, the first-year All-Star. But, man, I'm sorry. I just don't quite see him being ready yet to be that, hey, SGA, I got this guy, and just take over games late. And I thought last night kind of validated my belief, where in the fourth quarter where SGA just desperately needed a teammate to just step up here, he goes 2 for 9 in that quarter. And in overtime, he doesn't even attempt a shot. Like, you're the second option on a contender. That is not good enough. SGA needs some help here. Remember last year when they got bounced by Dallas, SGA was the best player in that series, but they lost, in part because J-Dub was an inefficient 17 points per game, and on nights, he was literally just getting outscored by P.J. Washington, a more of a role player. J-Dub's supposed to be an all-star, just not good enough. That's why I just found it so cringe the other day when I see NBA nerds on Twitter just eviscerating guys like Shannon Sharp for even thinking that the Lakers could give the Thunder a run in the playoffs, when it's like, guys, do you not understand the advantage the Lakers have? That not only in grown-up situations they have LeBron James to go to, they also have Luka freaking Doncic, and now Austin Reeves getting the team's third best perimeter defender. You just don't have enough guys to stop that. When I think for the Thunder, you can kind of slow down their offense. Not saying you can stop their offense. They have a demon in SGA. You can't stop them. But I saw a little bit of the blueprint last night by Minnesota. Their whole strategy in the fourth quarter and overtime was, we're just going to throw a bunch of double teams and all these zones at SGA, make him cough up the ball and have other teammates beat him. And his teammates couldn't rise up to the occasion. The non-SGA teammates last night the SGA teammates last night in the fourth quarter and overtime went 1 for 18 from 3. 1 for 18. Oh, my goodness. SGA is trying to give a pass here to these, although they've been shooting better as of late, these mid shooters, J-Dub, Caruso, Kason Wallace, they went brick, all down the stretch of that game. That's why Minnesota got back in it. Excuse me. Minnesota went on a 16-0 run in the final 3:41. OKC didn't score. They scored 7 points from 3:41 to the end of overtime because SGA's teammates struggled. Remember, when they lost to Dallas last year in the playoffs, OKC as a team shot 34% from 3. If OKC doesn't win the NBA championship, I guarantee you the reason why is because SGA's teammates cannot hit shots to save their lives. Now, before OKC fans hit me with a bunch of hate comments like, you have no idea what you're talking about, OKC is still the best team. I agree with you. I'm not going to freak out like they're not the best team in the West anymore. That was their 11th loss. Okay, they're still in fine shape. I still think they have the second best net rating in the history of the league. Like, they definitely have the best defense in basketball still. And I also think they have the MVP. Yeah, I don't think I've officially said on this platform that I think SGA is the MVP, even though Jokic is still putting up video game numbers. He did last night against Indiana. What was SGA? 39, 10, and 8? I mean, I can't say that the Thunder have only 11 losses on the year while being reliant on SGA and him not being my most valuable player. But last night was still embarrassing. I mean, when you're the 12.5-point favorite, according to ESPN Bet, at home to a shorthanded Timberwolves team, albeit you didn't have Chet and Hardenstein got hurt during the game, they didn't have Gobert or Randall. They're 2 of the 3 best players, and DiVincenzo, a good shooter. And you beat that team the night before at their house. That's a game you should win, especially when you're up by 25 points. And when I'm watching that game last night, I still think the Thunder are the best team in the league with the MVP, best team in the West at least with the MVP. But I kind of see their flaw. And it's the same flaw that was my issue with them last year and why they got bounced. It's that outside of SGA, do they have someone else in these fourth quarter OT moments who can just rise up to the occasion and take the load off. And that's supposed to be a guy like J-Dub, but he's just not quite there yet. It's supposed to be Chet Holmgren, but I don't know if he's quite there yet because he's just never healthy. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season pans out for OKC and going into the playoffs if this is still their flaw. But I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Let me know what you guys think. Follow my social media. Stay updated on all things related to the show. Until next time, see you.